and welcome to another episode of Unscripted. Today, I'm very excited because we actually have a very special announcement and things that we want to discuss and talk about. So I thought, who better to join me on this episode but one of the co-owners of Realty ONE Group Canada, Vicki Schmidt.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Can you just give like a quick update on who you are, your background, and what you do for Realty ONE Group Canada? And then we'll just kind of get right to it.
For sure. So yeah, I'm the CEO of Realty ONE Group Canada and one of the owners. We brought this brand here to Canada in late 2021 and have since gone national. So all kinds of exciting stuff we can chat about today. But I've been in real estate for over 20 years and really worked in every capacity in the business: commercial, land, residential, pre-construction, building design, everything. So I think a lot of that has really brought me the depth of experience to take on this challenge and the excitement of Realty ONE Group and bring that to Canada. So yeah, that's basically a little bit of a summary of me.
Amazing. Well, I think that your leadership and your experience really came through with this new change that we made to our model. And I think being a privately held company, we were able to be really nimble and flexible with that change.
Totally.
And that's really what the topic of today is to talk about this change, this announcement that we have. Can you shed a little bit of light on what this announcement is and, kind of why you as an owner came to making this change?
Yeah. So I think when we first brought the brand to Canada, it really was just Eastern Canada and obviously largely Ontario at that point, which is, obviously our largest market, but where we were focusing our efforts on. As we were, going and developing the franchise model and what that would look like to Canada, we definitely spent a lot of time and attention making sure that it resonated to the Canadian marketplace. Is I think, a lot of brands, international and US based brands have tried to come into Canada with disruptors and different types of models and, largely have failed.
Right.
Time and time again, especially the most disruptive type models, have never really been able to get much traction in the marketplace here. And I think, there's many reasons to that, but I do think that this is a very steady economy, and the real estate industry here is so much more regulated than it is anywhere else in the world. And I think Canadians just also are a little cautious to the change from that perspective. From more the perspective of like things being different and going in another way. I think there's always been a bit of hesitation and a lack of trust. And, even over the years, I think, the industry as a whole has really worked very hard to try to really kind of clean up its perception and create more professionalism. Right. So, I think it's obviously one of the biggest purchases someone's going to make, and it's a very, very important part of someone's life, and a very costly part as well, right? Absolutely. So making sure that it's something that's trustworthy and it's not like gimmicky, if you want to call it that, is really what Canadians are looking for. So when we came into the marketplace, I think, we had developed a pricing plan and did a lot of research coming into the market. And ultimately, we've got 5 franchises under our belt and are super excited. But, I think over the last sort of few months and towards the end of, or the beginning of this year, we actually went national. Right. So,
which was huge.
Yeah. So really started looking at what that brand looks like across Canada. Right. And, getting feedback from our existing franchises, looking at the market at a whole, the market changing, right? Like the market's changed significantly. In so many ways, not just the economy type changes, but there's also so much, legislative changes and just so much change in technology. Like there's so many different things. So, the beautiful thing about being private, as you said, is, we have the ability to be nimble and be able to flex on a dime and adapt to changing market conditions. So when we sort of started looking at all of this and went national, part of that exercise was really looking at, okay, does our model that we have now work all the way across Canada in different markets and different price points?
Great question to ask yourself.
100%. So does that work? And I think that embarked us on a whole new journey.
Right. And I remember we went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. We were researching, we've spent so much time together and, with the other owners really just truly dissecting it down to, and really the motivation behind that was, what does the agent want? Right. Like not what we want, like what can we provide? Like how can we provide the most amount of agent to the value to our agents? And, when you look at that from a franchising perspective, how can we provide something that's attractive to the franchisees that, want to engage and really put that agent first? And that's really how we lead this. Right. So I think that is kind of really what developed. And from that, as you know, we've come with a whole new pricing model that we've just launched. So super exciting.
We've gotten so much positive feedback, just an FYI, on this model. Tons of re-engagement. And I think from my perspective, what's amazing about it is that, like you were just saying, with the market changing all the time, technologies, different things, our model is really built to change with the market. It will work and be successful in any, volatile market, what have you. The model work, and it works straight across the country, which is amazing. Yeah.
And, we've been recognized, some of our accolades as, one of the top recession-proof type companies, right? Type 100%. Franchises. So taking that, and again, like all of those things resonate in your mind is like, how can we make it better? And I think the two key ways that we've done that is simplifying.
Amazing.
And also making it so attractive that it's just hard not to want to engage with it, right? Like the brand itself is so engaging. There's so many amazing things about what we offer, and the value proposition is truly unlike anything I've seen. And making it even more attractive and simplifying it, I think, is just a game changer.
I would agree with you completely, not just because I was involved in the development of it, but I really do agree with it. I really do believe in it. I'm really excited about it. What I find most attractive for broker owners is that we are incentivizing growth through agent count, but then at the same time, we're rewarding growth through agent count. So it's really got a win-win type situation. From your perspective, would you agree that that's the biggest benefit to a franchisee, or what do you think the best part and the most beneficial?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as you know, in all the discussions we've had, there's so many approaches to it, right? You want to make it scalable.
Well, yes.
And you want to make it scalable. So especially, there's conversions, or if someone's starting a new brokerage for the first time and starting to grow their brokerage from scratch, you want it to be able to scale with them. So that it's makes sense as they're growing. And, providing the entire sort of technology suite and all of that absolutely helps with cost. And I'm sure we'll chat about that in a bit. But so scalability is really important. But then, like you said, also incentivizing growth, right? Because of our structure, we really are a brand that has something for everybody. And, from luxury to pre-construction, to sort of just starting out, to experienced teams, it doesn't matter where you are in your real estate journey. We have something for everybody. So making something that's attractive for everyone can sometimes be difficult, right?
100%.
So when you're offering a great value proposition at a great price, that is attractive to everyone, then it allows to create an environment where now everyone can also learn from each other. So, our attraction is to attract everybody and to be able to scale a business where the agents can also help support each other and the culture and everyone grow and succeed together.
I love the way that you just packaged that. I feel like that should be a social media post. Like, that was amazing. And I feel like that was very, very honest and very, very true. And I love that. But it was a really great segue to, what kind of makes us really attractive to everybody, what our package includes, because I know with changing the fee structure, maybe people think, okay, well, they're not, a full end-to-end solution anymore, or what did they take away so that they could make this positive change for the brokers? Are you able to touch on that piece?
Yeah. So, I mean, in short, we haven't taken away anything. Like, we literally, we are a complete end-to-end solution. If, you're looking to franchise, it's, the front end, the back end, the full accounting system, all of the technology suite, creative studio, everything that both a franchise and their agents need to run their business is included. So when you're getting started and we can do it at a scale that individuals would never be able to scale at or be able to get that sort of pricing, because we're doing it on a national level, that we're offering an entire technology suite to everybody to be able to run their business. And the time and research, I mean, we've spent so much time researching the best technologies.
We did the heavy lifting for you.
Right. So you can plug in and be able to benefit from that stuff immediately and be able to provide that value to your agents. Because I think a lot of independents that get in and start trying to grow are just like, oh, well, then the agents want this and then they want that. And they want all these different things that they're not able to provide because they're not big enough yet to provide it. So they can provide all of that right from day one. And it really is a very attractive option for both franchisees and their agents.
Yeah, like the way I kind of like to think about it and position it to, especially a startup or a team looking to take it to the next level, is that our package includes, like you said, the end-to-end solution. So you shouldn't have to pay an additional third party for, say, a Lone Wolf software, because it's provided with our package using Account Tech. So they should have everything to start day one and go without having to pay third parties for different various pieces that they don't have. They're just ready to go. So I love that piece of it.
And we're super nimble. We're also always looking and researching, new best-in-class technology. So instead of going and investing all kinds of money into something that we could say is like proprietary, why not use the best? Like, we can literally plug in and plug out the best of anything that's out there. And as technology is growing, as it changes and continuing to grow every day, if there's something new that comes aboard that's better, we can unplug and plug in that new technology and not be so worried about what we've invested in something that's proprietary, that's really a dinosaur by the time it gets out to market.
I love that. And I think it's also really important to note that we are Realty ONE Group Canada. We have the master franchise rights for that, but we also are plugged into the international platform, which obviously is just a bigger sphere of people that we can lean into, global events and stuff like that. I feel that sometimes people don't see like the huge value in being an international company and the amazing growth that there is international, and how that can really help their business and take them to the next level. And the amount of opportunities, especially for owners who, have a crazy idea of, I'm going to open something in a different country, or, be a part of something in a different country. With Realty ONE Group, like, you still have that option and that opportunity, because we're not just a national brand. Right. We are an international brand.
Absolutely.
And there's so much strength behind that. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, like, we're really proud, and it meant so much to us to be in that first group, like, of international.
I love it.
Like, we were like
pioneers.
Yeah, we were pioneers of the first country that expanded outside of Canada. And so with that, and then kind of as it evolved into a franchising model, again, we were the first master franchise owners outside of the US, and had their explosive growth there, and then decided that they were going to go international. And, within a few short years are now in over 20 countries. And I believe there's already sort of 2 more in the hopper. So like now pretty much 22 countries in a matter of years. It's not something that really anyone's able to achieve. And I think it's a testament to the movement of really engaging in the culture of Realty ONE Group, or the COOLture, as we call it. And what that is, and how that resonates with people. And I think it's really ultimately about, people in caring for people. Like there's just a love right from Cuba, the original founder of the company and still the CEO today. His passion and his love for what he does, and I think his love for this brand resonates all the way down through every level. And it's very refreshing to see. And, he is the same individual today as the first time I met him. He's super authentic, and he just genuinely cares. And, he drives this business with his heart and not with, shareholder earnings and those types of things. And it's very evident.
Right. I mean, I feel that, especially with culture, because that's like a huge part of who we are and like the people that we strive to be, and doing it in our personal lives and in our professional lives, is you don't realize you're in a bad culture until you're in one.
Yeah.
But then when you're in a really positive culture, you realize that even if you weren't in a bad culture, it's like, oh, what was I doing? But when you're really in a good one, you're like, celebrated, wow. And it's a game changer.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that looks like giving, everybody opportunity, giving everyone a voice, and it does start from the top down, I believe. And I do want to be very clear that, yes, we are international, but we have spent a ton of time Canadianizing everything, using our own programs and investing in those, because we do have boots on the ground owners here, you and Harrison.
Yep.
And then we have amazing people like Kevin Vinzon, who's Canadianizing things that maybe we leverage from the US, but then also all the stuff that we go and source out from companies here. So that is really important. I know it's important to franchisees that everything is Canadian relevant.
Yep.
So I think that's super key to point out as well.
Yeah. And we're Canadian, right? Like we've lived here, worked in this industry our whole lives. So we're not stepping in and, hoping that what worked in the US works here. It actually doesn't really. It is different.
Right.
And, I think even with these new changes, we've kind of really doubled down and focused even more on ensuring that this resonates nationally.
Yes.
And the changes, we're just obviously super excited about.
Okay. Well, I don't want to take up a whole bunch of your time. I know that you're super busy. I just wanted to thank you so much for coming on the podcast and just sharing this exciting news. I want to remind people to please reach out to Vicki or myself if you have some interest and you want to explore the options with us. Reach out, please. We encourage it.
Yeah. And, one other thing I just sort of wanted to add to that is, our franchisees that we have right now, we were talking about that COOLture piece, everyone that we're looking for in sort of a franchise, really leads with that culture. And each one of them, we're super excited to be first in their market.
Right. That's such a good point.
And like the excitement from that and being pioneers in their market to bring the new brand there. Right. And going through that journey with us, largely you leading that has been so exciting for everyone.
Right.
But, they drive their offices through their passion and, their connection to that culture as well. So I think that is really something that's super important to fundamentally to who we are.
Right.
And we really feel like a big part of what drives the success.
Well, it's really true. I feel like there's need for a shakeup, need for a new player, need from somebody new. And then the people who are really attracted to us, they are excited to be the first to bring it to the market, shake things up, have agents go, oh, who are those? What's that? Like, what's going on here? And spark that curiosity. And all of our franchisees are doing quite well for how long they've been open. And I think it's really because they're driving through their culture and who they are as leaders. And then, having that hunger
Yeah.
to really be the first in their market and bring it. And, it's really exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Vicki. And
No problem. Thanks for having me.
okay.
Okay.
I didn't know how to end it.